A longtime ally of U.S. President Donald Trump has been provisionally released from custody after being arrested this morning. Roger Stone paid a $250,000 bond and will face travel restrictions. Now, he's been charged with obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and making false statements. Stone was an advisor to Donald Trump during the 2016 election campaign, and the charges stem from U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller and his investigation into whether the Trump campaign colluded with Russia in the election. Now, Stone denies the charges. Here's what he said.
I will plead not guilty to these charges. I will defeat them in court. I believe this is a politically motivated investigation. I am troubled by the political motivations of the prosecutors. And as I have said previously, there is no circumstance whatsoever under which I will bear false witness against the president, nor will I make up lies to ease the pressure on myself. I look forward to being fully and completely vindicated.
Roger. DW's Maya Schwader is on the story for us in Washington, and she joins us now. Hi, Maya. What else can you tell us about what exactly Roger Stone is being charged with here?
So there are now 7 counts against him, including lying to congressional investigators, attempted witness tampering, and possible obstruction of justice. So these are just 3 things that look very similar to what other people in Trump's orbit who have also now been charged with crimes have been charged with, all again related to goings-on during the 2016 U.S. presidential campaign. So this is Roger Stone. We have to remember, was one of the closest people in Trump's orbit. One thing that Trump and the White House has been able to do so far is say, this person who's been charged wasn't really part of the campaign. I didn't really know this person. This person was only involved for a few months. And Roger Stone also was only involved in the Trump campaign for a few months, but he has been a close associate of President Trump for decades. And the White House is already attempting to try to wave this off as something that's not related to the White House, but that is much harder to do in this case.
Maya, who is Roger Stone then? What is his background?
Roger Stone has been a background player in the U.S. political scene for decades. He actually worked for the Richard Nixon campaign. And for people watching who might not know who Richard Nixon is, he was a not very beloved president in the 1970s who ultimately was impeached and resigned over charges of obstruction of justice. But Roger Stone remained very loyal to Richard Nixon, and it's said that he even has a tattoo of Richard Nixon's face on his back. So he has been involved with conservative politics in the U.S. for decades, and again has been a close associate of President Trump for a very long time. Both he and Paul Manafort, another former campaign official on the Trump campaign, were close associates in the 1980s. They were top of the game in terms of foreign lobbying. So he also is in Trump's inner circle, and his arrest today, his appearance before court, means that whatever investigations are going on now, they're getting much closer to the president.
Yeah, Maya, that is the question. What is the fallout here for President Trump?
What we've seen today so far is the White House singing their usual song of, there's been no collusion proven here, this has nothing to do with the president. And the thing that Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the press secretary, said today was all of these people who've been arrested and charged and indicted, yes, they all were maybe in the president's orbit at some point, but they were all arrested on charges that have nothing to do with the president. And the thing is, she's not wrong, but what she's painting is a picture of a candidate during the campaign who was somewhat disconnected from his campaign staff. She claims that he had no knowledge of the goings-on of what Roger Stone was doing, no knowledge of this now legendary meeting at Trump Tower between the president's son, the president's son-in-law, and this Russian lawyer in which alleged possible collusion was discussed, which isn't a good look for the president. So the more he tries to pull back from all these people around him who are getting nabbed by the feds, really just the worse it looks for him.
All right, DW's Maya Schwader following the story for us in Washington. Maya, thank you very much.